What? Oh. Hey, what's up? Hey. Survivor Series 2020. This is our wrap-up show, post-show of Survivor Series. I'm Dave Simon. This is my brother, Ben Simon, getting a little chopski to start the show. Wake you up, baby, after that slowpoke Survivor Series. Where's Johnny? Johnny North is in the building. Tremendous professional wrestler, big jacked man. Johnny, you like my chopski? You see that? Boom, right off the bat. Chopski. He's my brother. I'm allowed.
It seems a little unnecessary, but...
Woo! We're loving it. We're loving it. We're having a good time at Survivor Series.
It seemed more like a backslap kind of thing, actually.
What? I did an open hand like that, and he gave me a knife edge.
Yeah.
Chris Benoit style.
It's the only
similarity. Only style to be, baby. We're hitting each other. We're getting excited. Survivor Series just went down. What was your match of the night, and what do you give it on 10? What is your ranking of this Survivor Series? How do you rate it? And what was your favorite match? I want to know your picks. Send them to me on the chat. I see Lauren Cronish on the chat. I see Bob Cote. I see Franco316. I see Tony Mac76, who says morning gents, which means he's watching us out in Europe. I'm not sure where you are, Tony, but shout out to you. Shout out to everybody in Europe. In Europe, you know, for us here, Eastern time, it's 10:30 p.m. on the dot. And out in Europe, it's like much later. So shout out to you guys staying up super late.
6 hours most countries.
Shout out to you guys watching these things super late. It is, Monday morning tomorrow. And, of course, Survivor Series. I didn't think it was the best pay-per-view. On 10, I'll start us off. I'll give it 5. 5.5. I'll give it a 5.5 to be generous. But, like, overall, I didn't think that there was anything really good here. I didn't see anything that I really liked. I didn't see anything that blew me away. Everything was kind of okay. I didn't see anything really that I hated. I didn't hate Survivor Series, but I didn't really like it. Like, there was nothing to me on this show that stuck out in my mind as great or memorable or historical, other than the Undertaker thing, of course, which was the main event. It was just an Undertaker celebration, which could have been done on an episode of Raw, could have been done anywhere, really. I don't know. I didn't think that it was the best Survivor Series that I'd ever seen, for sure. So I'm giving it a 5.5 on 10. What do you got?
Yeah, I'm about the same ballpark, you know. I don't know. Yeah, 4 would probably be too mean. I guess a 5. Yeah, it was 5. Very boilerplate. It was just kind of there. They were kind of going through the motions for a lot of it. Like you said, that main event, that Taker event, felt very much like a Raw segment, like those farewells on Raw.
Yeah.
And not even that. Like, why weren't all those guys there when Vince and Taker were there? You know, they brought them out, and I get it. You know, you got to clear the ring for Vince and everything, but I don't know. It just felt a little disjointed. You know, at least keep Triple H around. And the matches were just kind of there. The most memorable match for me, I guess I'll also go on a limb and give you my match then at the same time, is probably the women's Survivor Series match.
Yeah?
It's probably my pick. Kind of a story to it. And the most memorable thing to me was that suplex that Bayley took to the outside that looked pretty painful.
Yeah.
And I can't really remember much else of anything else. Like, I was trying to remember about, like, the New Day match, but I can't remember much out of it. So I'll take the women's match.
I'm giving this thing a 5 on 10. I got my buddy Brian who's watching. He's not in the chat, but he just texted me. He's a friend of mine, and he's like, stop being nice about this pay-per-view. It was a 2 at best. It was terrible. I saw it. Brian didn't like it. I'm giving it a 5 on 10. You're giving it a what?
About that, a 5.
5. I'm seeing Tony Mack. He's out in London, England. Friend of our buddy Andy's. Andy since day one. He's been watching Wrestling Uncensored. Well, actually listening to Wrestling Uncensored since before the show was a video show, when it was just an audio show. Andy, our buddy out in England, has been there since day one.
It's an OG.
And we're at, 517 episodes of Wrestling Uncensored? So he's been around for a long time. Tony Mack, a buddy of Andy's. He's given it a 6 on 10. Bob Cote gives it a 5. JC gives it a 6. So I'm seeing, roughly where we are with it. 5, 5, 5, and 6s in the chat. My buddy Brian giving it a 2. Big Johnny, what do you say?
I actually thought this pay-per-view picked up near the end. I thought at the beginning I was a little disappointed, but I think by the time we got to that SmackDown women's elimination match, it got a lot better. And I really liked the ending with The Undertaker. I thought that was fitting. I understand what you mean, but it should be on a Raw maybe. But this was because it's Survivor Series. It's the 30-year anniversary. So it was just fitting for him to have this. And WWE, they don't usually give moments like this. If they give moments like this, it's like a dark segment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's great that they gave him that. He deserves that.
It wasn't much of a segment, though. They really didn't do anything there. Nothing happened, right? You have a bunch of people come out, and I appreciate seeing the legends, but they did absolutely nothing. Savio Vega comes out looking like a good, he looks like he ate Savio Vega, what happened to Savio Vega? I mean, of course, he's not wrestling anymore.
He was always kind of chunky, to be fair.
I mean, he looked like a different guy. The Godwins came out. I was like, which one was Midian? I can't tell who was who there. They didn't look at all like themselves.
You can tell by the tats.
Yeah, I guess. But, it was hard to tell who was Midian, right, and who wasn't. There was
Bradshaw.
Bradshaw was there. Shane McMahon,
Godfather.
Triple H, Godfather.
Kevin Nash.
Nate. JBL, Booker T, Jeff Hardy. They brought out a bunch of them, and then Kane in full gear for some reason. Everybody else was in suits. Kane comes out in his Kane outfit, and then they all stand in the ring just to stand in the ring.
Yeah, they didn't say anything. I was hoping a promo from a couple guys talking about how much Taker meant to them, personal story.
Yeah, no one spoke.
Yeah,
no one said a word.
No testimonials.
You have some of the biggest legends in the history of the game. No one says anything. You have a bunch of guys you haven't seen in a while as well. No one says anything. They just shake each other's hand and stand there. They then go to a video package. They show the video package of Taker, which is not that great. They've done great video packages in the past, and of the great video packages, that was not one of them, And then Vince is there in the ring looking weird. Has Vince done Botox or something? Because his forehead has no creases in it. And his eyebrows don't seem to move. Vince is doing something to his face because he's lost a lot of wrinkles that he had before. He's a 75-year-old man. I don't know what's going on with Vince, but he looked odd. Did he lip sync his promo? It felt like the words weren't syncing up to his mouth. I don't know what's going on there with Vince, but the whole Vince promo was strange, and he really didn't say much. He's like, tonight we're here. It's the end of an era. The Undertaker's career is over.
I noticed at the beginning he says it's been 30 long and arduous years.
Yeah,
arduous is usually a word after it's hard, miserable.
Yeah,
like you've sailed across the Atlantic with no food or something. It was a weird way to describe Undertaker's career as arduous.
Yeah, I mean it was very strange and not particularly entertaining or interesting. He didn't say anything poignant really about the Undertaker.
Yeah, nothing personal.
Nothing. And then Taker comes out, takes his sweet-ass time, and says, I'm the Undertaker, and I've been making this walk for 30 years. And tonight, Undertaker, the character, will rest in peace. And then that was it. There was some fireballs. Oh, the coolest part about it was the Paul Bearer hologram. Yeah. There was a hologram of Paul Bearer that showed up. Undertaker does his pose, and he's like, eh. And then there's a Paul Bearer hologram, and that was cool. And then Undertaker walked away, and Survivor Series ended. And, I don't know. I wasn't entertained. There's a lot of guys walking out and shaking hands. And then Vince talked for a bit. Undertaker did a promo that I feel like we've seen before.
And also there was that weird remix of the Undertaker's theme song. It sounded like bees were singing it or something. With the electricity? What was that about?
Yeah, what was that MIDI version of Undertaker's theme song with the lightning what the fuck was that? It was garbage.
Yeah,
I didn't like any of it. I didn't like any of it. I was watching it just kind of stunned. They're doing this is the main event of this show? What? And the rest of the show not really good. John, you liked the Undertaker thing?
I did, because you don't see wrestlers get a moment like that. I never saw Stone Cold. I never saw The Rock get a moment like that. You think about some of the greatest stars ever of all time.
Did.
Shawn did.
Yep. Flair did, and Flair ruined it.
Why? Because he wrestled in Impact? He needed money.
And
How
Australia.
dare you? Yeah. Listen, who are you to tell him he can't apply his trade? It's a nature boy Ric Flair. If he wants to wrestle, he can wrestle.
Oh, he can do what he wants, but he tarnished the moment, though.
Whatever. The moment. It's all a work, John. It's not real. Okay? But yeah,
the work they put in is real.
Okay. But was that a moment? Did you feel anything watching that? I like Undertaker just as much as the next guy. I didn't feel anything watching that.
No, I didn't feel emotion.
I got no goosebumps. Watching some of those Undertaker documentaries, The Last Ride, there were some moments during those shows. There were some Undertaker, honest-to-God moments. Tonight, the final farewell didn't feel like a moment. Give me Undertaker coming down to the ring and shaking hands with the guys and talking about the guys as Mark Calloway and talking about how much each of them meant to him and why they're there. Explain to us why the Godwins are there. Somebody. Other than Michael Cole on commentary saying, well, these guys are really good friends of Undertaker. Okay. Undertaker coming to the ring. He's done enough interviews as Mark Calloway at this point. The mystique is gone. Mm-hmm. He was on goddamn Hot Ones eating chicken wings with that little bald guy. The mystique is gone here, dude. Be yourself. Come out as yourself. Talk about the guys that are in the ring with you. Do a real speech. Do a real retirement as yourself. And then give us a real moment that we could be like, damn, that was cool. Yeah. That would have been so cool.
Yeah, a little Hall of Fame kind of speech.
Yeah.
Because who knows when they're going to have a proper Hall of Fame kind of induction ceremony. So give us a little bit now.
Also.
A little bit of Mean Mark.
Also, should old-ass Ric Flair and Vince McMahon... Well, I guess Vince was in the ring by himself. But should old-ass Ric Flair be in the ring with that many brothers at the same time, given it's a pandemic and social distancing and all that?
I don't know if they care.
Yeah, whatever. I'm just saying. We're looking out for Nature's health. He's an old man. But beyond that, I would have liked to have seen Taker in the ring with those guys as himself, talking about them and saying why the hell they were actually there. That would have been something. Instead,
well, I think they're just there for respect. They're just kind of like jabronis in a sense. Taker's the star.
Yeah.
Which is fine. That's great. That shows how great Taker is. These guys are jabronis. Triple H, Shawn, they're jabronis compared to Undertaker.
They're just
I agree with that.
To stand in the ring. But we know they're not jabronis. Ric Flair's not a jabroni.
Savio Vega's a jabroni.
Yeah, Jeff Hardy's not a jabroni.
Godfather's kind of a jabroni.
Godfather's a jabroni. Midian, obviously. And the other one, not Midian. Those guys are jabronis. But, Shawn Michaels, Jeff Hardy. Don't call Jeff Hardy a jabroni. Big Show. Those guys are legends of the business and hadn't been seen in a while, some of them, and they just showed up to stand in the ring for 30 seconds and shake everybody's hands. Shawn Michaels treated everybody like a jabroni too. Did you notice that?
That was awesome.
Like all the brothers are like doing the handshake, shaking everybody's hand individually. Shawn Michaels runs in the ring, just does like the hand slap, like he's slapping the hands of the first row, just to like all the wrestlers. He's like, yeah, hey everybody, I'm Shawn Michaels. Yeah, you're all fans of mine, whatever. It was very disrespectful. It was very Shawn, classic Shawn, not giving a shit about anybody really, just like, hey guys, yeah, whatever.
I'm me.
No respect.
Well, it's Shawn Michaels. Did you expect anything less? Like, come on.
Yeah. No Michelle McCool.
But again,
no Layla. No Rod
It's not needed.
Simmons. Yeah. No El Gigante, John Gonzalez.
No Teddy Long.
No Teddy Long. No Great Khali. I mean, no Nathan Jones. None of these great legends.
No Luther Reigns.
None of these great legends from Taker's past. No. I mean, I was going to say somebody, but I remembered he's dead. I was like, no Crush.
Super
Wait
chat.
a second.
Super
he's
chat.
dead.
Whoa.
Oh, that's loud.
That's a good one. JC dropped a super chat just to say Midian is not a jabroni.
All right, man.
All right. Since you dropped the super chat, we have to agree with you. We'll agree with you.
The other
Midian's
Godwin
not
is a jabroni.
The other Henry O. Wait, which one's who?
I want to say Midian was Phineas.
Was he Phineas I. Godwin or was he Henry O. I feel like Midian was Henry O. Godwin.
Oh.
John?
What do you think?
Midian was Phineas.
That's right.
Oh, shit. I believe John. Yeah. I believe him. I'm not even gonna double check him. I believe that he's right.
Believe me.
I didn't because John, he's like the historian. The guy knows. You know?
I know.
Johnny knows more.
And then
again,
you can tell by the color of their attire. The Phineas wore the yellow shirt, and Henry wore the white.
You only know that because we had
the other way around
figures.
though. But yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we used to have the Godwin action figures. Those were sick.
We still have one of them.
We have one of the Godwins?
I think I got one in my box.
Send me that Godwin over here.
Also, I watched a lot of Superstars Saturdays at noon on CFCF 12, and the Godwins were heavily featured on Superstars.
Of course they were. Why wouldn't they be?
Facing the headbangers every week.
JC
or
confirming.
Job Team.
JC, who's a big Midian fan, confirming that Midian was Phineas. So if anybody knows, it would be JC who dropped a super chat to say the Midian is not a jabroni, which I respect big time. Thank you. Yo, keep dropping those super chats. We appreciate you. What was match of the night?
Well, you said it was
the women's. Yeah. I'm going to say it was a New Day and Street Profits. I thought that match was really solid. Street Profits won. I was a little bit surprised. It was the only real match that happened tonight. I guess Sasha and Asuka was real, but that was like a lot of rest holds and not much happening. I don't know what went wrong there. But I thought Street Profits and New Day had a really solid match. And looking at the rest of the card that I wasn't really impressed with, that, to me, is my match of the night. Johnny, what do you think? What was your best of the night?
Well, just to talk about the matches that you guys liked, I thought the tag match was okay, but I had higher expectations for that match, and I thought it was just starting to kick into a second gear, and then the match was over. So it felt like that should have been longer, and it was just all right at best. They did the whole let's kick out of each other's finishers. That was nice, but then it pretty much ended right after that. Where you saw with the main event, or the last match anyways, where they actually, did the finishers and there was a bunch of near falls where the tag match didn't get that. So I just felt the tag match was okay.
Super chat.
Wasn't the best. Oh, another super chat. That's nice.
Boom. That is Patrick C. Hamilton. He says, just like Lauren, I didn't watch it. You guys are likely much more entertaining the way it sounds. I like people that don't watch the WWE pay-per-views and just come to us to see what happened.
We would give you the real deal.
Yeah, and just sorry, John.
Go ahead.
Just in case you don't know what happened tonight and you didn't watch the pay-per-view, I should run down the results real quick just so everybody knows what went down. The Miz won. I mean.
Yes, here's some useful information.
Wow, it's a rough start.
It started out pretty bad, right? The Miz won an 18-man battle royal because, of course, 18-man is the traditional number of battle royal participants you have. What? Why couldn't they do 20? They couldn't find 2 more guys and do 20? I mean, I guess they're scraping the bottom of the barrel. The final 2 guys in the battle royal were The Miz and Dominic Mysterio. So, yeah, it wasn't great. Although that match had a lot of good wrestlers, it just ended poorly. John Morrison was in there, Kalisto, Rey Mysterio, Humberto, Angel Garza, Cedric, Shelton, Richard O'Shea, Apollo Crews, Buddy Murphy, Bobby Roode, Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler, who wrestles with a baseball cap on now for some reason. Elias, Jeff Hardy, Shad Gable, and poor Shinsuke Nakamura, who had to be in there. And, like, Shinsuke, but not Cesaro? You know, like, they couldn't put Cesaro in there? Weird.
It's weird.
But Shinsuke was in there, and I was like, I know Shinsuke's not going to win this thing, but the fact that he's not going to win this thing is a goddamn travesty of wrestling justice. Like, that's ridiculous. It's stupid. Like, Jeff Hardy and Shinsuke Nakamura were in this match, and Miz and Dominic Mysterio were the final 2. And I called the finish of the match, too. I was watching with my son. Well, I'll get to it. I'm running down the rest of the card. I got to run down the card. But The Miz beat 18 men in a dual-brand battle royal on the pre-show. And then Team Raw, the men's team, led by AJ Styles, Keith Lee, Sheamus, Braun Strowman, and Riddle, they all remained. None of them were eliminated. They beat Team SmackDown, which was Kevin Owens, Jey Uso, King Corbin, Seth Rollins, and Otis. Team Raw just clean sweep. The Street Profits beat the New Day. Bobby Lashley beat Sami Zayn by submission.
Sami Zayn did not have an entrance.
Didn't even get an entrance. Pure Job Squad treatment for Sami. Sasha Banks beat Asuka. Team Raw women, Nia, Shayna, Lana, Lacey, and Peyton beat Team SmackDown, Bianca, Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, Bayley, and Natty. Lana was the sole survivor, which was kind of fun. We could talk about. Roman Reigns beat Drew McIntyre in the main event, choking him out with the guillotine, which I don't like chokeholds in wrestling. Those used to be illegal. I don't know why they are allowed now. But something happened at some point where they started allowing chokeholds in pro wrestling, and I'm like, whatever happened to the days when you're not allowed to choke somebody? But Roman's got a guillotine that he's working, and he choked Drew unconscious. So Drew didn't actually tap. And then they had the whole Undertaker celebration, and that was Survivor Series. That's what went down tonight. Not too good. Not too good. Yeah, that Miz. Did you see the pre-show Battle Royal, John? Not great.
Yeah, I thought it was terrible. The Battle Royal, really bad. Like, first off, it's Raw versus SmackDown, and yet everyone's fighting everyone. And, like, I thought for the most part, Raw was eliminating Raw and SmackDown was eliminating SmackDown. Like, these people don't know how to work, and they're supposed to be in WWE. It's ridiculous.
Well, it's Dominic Mysterio, man. This is his
Well, it's not just Dominic Mysterio. It was everybody else in that Battle Royal was doing that.
Well, it wasn't much of a match, you know? It's a Battle Royal. Who cares?
Well, I feel like this kind of didn't count towards the pay-per-view, right? Because it was like Raw versus SmackDown. But I guess this didn't really count because we've seen in the past when they've had pre-show matches, they didn't count towards the actual score in the past. Like, I remember this one time Raw pretty much won every match, but New Day would complain that, hey, we won the one match on the pre-show. Yeah, and that was a kind of a thing where it's like, yeah, that happened. So I feel like this actually didn't count towards the actual score.
Well, why not? Wouldn't this have given Raw the win 4-3?
I think they actually meant it to be as a tie 3-3, I guess.
So the pre-show didn't count? again.
Well, if it didn't count in the past, yeah, I guess.
But it was but it was dual branded. How does it not count?
Right.
Raw clearly won Survivor Series because Miz was wearing a Raw t-shirt. There were guys wearing Raw and SmackDown shirts. They were clearly representing for the brand. Why would it not count in the Raw versus SmackDown final tally of the night?
They should have been wearing Heat and Velocity shirts, if anything.
They should have been wearing AEW and NXT shirts. Just fuck it.
Well, to be fair, again, to history, in the pre-show it was SmackDown versus Raw, and they still didn't count it.
Okay. So it was a tie 3-3, but really Raw won, right?
And it would kind of give them an out where it's like it didn't really matter who won, right? If it was Raw or SmackDown. So then it kind of makes sense, the Battle Royal.
But it doesn't matter anyways. Like, the winning brand doesn't get anything. This isn't the bragging rights pay-per-view.
Nothing matters. It's not like you get home field advantage in the World Series because you won Survivor Series.
That'd be cool, though.
You know what it should be, though?
Game. You know,
it should count towards the Rumble or something.
No?
No, it's best record.
Makes sense. It's better. Mm-hmm. Sorry, John. What? We're talking about baseball.
There should be some sort of like advantage in the Rumble for the winning team.
Yeah,
like it would guarantee
the 30th spot for somebody from Raw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. They should do that, but, too logical for WWE. And Miz got eliminated. It was weird, right? He got thrown over the top rope, lands on the apron, and then I guess he slid back into the ring a bit, and then Chad Gable drop-kicked him under the rope, so it didn't count as an elimination. It wasn't really clear that Miz slid back into the ring, except commentary was like, oh, Miz might not be eliminated there. The referee's waving it off. And I was like, oh, so Miz is going to be on the outside of the ring, and then Dominic and Chad Gable are going to wrestle. Dominic's going to survive. He's going to eliminate Chad Gable. He's going to think he won, and then Miz is going to come in the ring and toss him out. And that's exactly what happened. I was watching it with my son, and I was like, yeah, see, Chad Gable, this is what's going to happen. He's going to do this, and then Gable's going to go out, and then Miz is going to come in. And then, that happened because it's so predictable, and it's just not that creative. It's not that inspired, It's just when you can call it 4, 5, 6 steps ahead, it's like, all right, dude, why am I watching this shit? Especially Miz. Like, it's not even like he entertains you on the way there, It's not like what's going to happen, but at least it's fun on your way. It's like, no, it's not fun on the way, and you know what's going to happen.
Yeah, like Stone Cold pulled off that kind of thing on Brett. Oh, he got legitimately, but he did that kind of thing, and that was fun.
Yeah, Austin was always fun.
Yeah, but not like that.
Yeah, you can't compare Austin to Miz. Like,
I mean, everyone's done that kind of spot before, and they've done it better.
Yeah, everybody's better than the Miz, for sure. I agree with that.
I don't know why he's being pushed again.
Everybody is better than Miz. Even Drew McIntyre.
And that match sucked.
Yeah, I did not like that.
That almost put me to sleep.
John, you like that? Drew and Roman?
To me, that was the match of the night, Drew McIntyre,
really?
Roman Reigns.
What?
Oh, yeah.
That's objectionable, John.
How?
I delivered everything I thought it would. Like, if you remember the WrestleMania match, it just had no interest whatsoever. With this, it's like Drew actually had some fight back. Like, you actually believe Drew would come back in this match, and he did.
Yeah, I don't know. Okay. I just, like, I don't know. Nothing they do is that exciting, Like, there was nothing in that match that drew me in. Pardon the pun, Drew McIntyre. But, like, there was nothing in there. Like, there's not a move that they hit. There's not a sequence that they did. There's not a transition. There's not a spot. There's not anything. There's not a single thing that they did where I was like, oh, cool. Or, oh, shit. We're supposed to say, oh, shit, when Roman did the
barricade?
Samoan drop on Drew on the table with the monitor still there, but like, yeah,
right.
It was pretty soft, And you're supposed to say, "Oh shit," when he spears him through the barricade, but like, how many times have we seen that barricade spot? And those barricades are pretty padded, so it's pretty soft. Like, they didn't do anything that made me fear for their safety. Not even close. Not even close. At least when Roman was wrestling Brock Lesnar, I feared for Roman's safety. At least when Brock Lesnar was around, there was the element of he might kill you because he does not give a shit about you. These guys care too much about each other to really hurt each other. They're too scared to step on anybody's toes. They're too scared to get yelled at backstage, to do anything or to step out of line or to push the envelope. What do you say? Push
and either or kind of works.
They're pushing a thing of paper that closes, okay? They're scared to do that. They can't push the envelope or the envelope. I really don't know. Envelope. I don't even know what I say.
I like on.
Doesn't that happen to you sometimes? You use a word and you just, I don't even know how I pronounce it. I don't say envelope very much. Envelope. I think I say N. Anyways, it was fucking boring.
Well, I really thought there was a lot of good back and forth between them, actually. Unlike in their previous matches where it just felt like you knew Roman was going to win. Like, I actually had some doubt. Because, like, Drew, kicked out of, 3 spears in this match.
Maybe it's because I had no doubt. I never had any doubt. I just figured eventually, they make Drew strong, but eventually Roman was going to find a way. Jey Uso showed up and did a distraction deal, and, Roman found a way. I just, at no point, did I believe that Drew was going to win. All that stuff that Roman was telling him, Drew, you're the secondary champion. You're a title holder, but I am the champion of WWE. This is my WWE. I'm the guy. You're the guy they send when Roman doesn't feel like it. And, all that stuff was true. And going into the match, I was like, yeah, it's true. And Roman is just beginning this super heel run. They're not going to have him lose in any kind of way to Drew McIntyre here. They're just not. Drew McIntyre, who just lost clean to Randy, 3 weeks ago at Hell in a Cell?
Yeah.
So, I just didn't believe in Drew McIntyre, which is a big problem with Drew McIntyre. I've never believed in Drew McIntyre because, his matches are not particularly exciting, and his promos are even worse. He's not bad. He's just not excellent,
or good.
He's not good. I like excellent wrestlers. I like AJ Styles. He's an excellent professional wrestler. Undertaker, in his prime, was an excellent professional wrestler. Rey Mysterio, excellent professional wrestler. Still to this day, maybe not quite the same guy he was 3-4 years ago, but I'd rather watch Rey on TV, although because his stupid kids are always there, I don't really want to see Rey on TV anymore. And his wife and all that shit. Buddy Murphy now, who's Rey's son, too. Fucking terrible. I don't want to see Rey, actually. Forget you, Rey. Sorry, Rey. You brought your kids on TV. Now nobody wants to see your little ass anymore. But, Daniel Bryan, not even booked for the pay-per-view. I want to watch him. Sami Zayn I usually want to watch, but a Bobby Lashley match was a drizzling shit. What the hell happened there? It was garbage.
Well, I thought there was 2 big disappointments tonight. I thought the men's match that started the show, you see all that talent in the ring, and that's what we got. I thought that was very disappointing. And I thought Bobby and Sammy, mainly just because it was too long. You knew what was going to happen pretty much from the start because the Hurt Business was there. It was pretty much 4-on-1 in a sense.
And
Sammy couldn't
got
escape.
No entrance. He was like a jobber. He was just
There's
in the
that
ring.
too, sure. I think he got a promo though, didn't he?
I didn't see a promo.
Well, they let him talk. You could hear him talking though.
Yeah,
during the match.
But that's
so.
You think he?
They're giving him some over.
You think he has heat, Sammy?
No.
I don't know. His tweets they were good, but his tweets about America and stuff, shooting on Bobby Lashley, they were kind of shooty about American foreign policy and stuff, and maybe Vince or Bruce Pritchard took exception to that, saying you're running down America, so we're gonna make you look like crap out there.
I will say that it is weird that Sami Zayn was the co-host of Talking Smack for 3 or 4 weeks in a row, and then all of a sudden they're like, yank him, put Paul Heyman there. And Sammy was great on that show. Really good. Like, I watched Talking Smack because Sami Zayn was killing it. By the way, I still watch Talking Smack because it's a really good show. It's better than SmackDown. Paul Heyman's actually really good on that show, too. Mm-hmm. Daniel Bryan is usually a guest. He was a guest this week, so I had to watch because, you know, anything with Daniel Bryan on it, I am there.
So maybe there's heat.
I don't know. I feel like they, there might be something there with Sammy. I find it odd that they took him off Talking Smack. I don't know why they would. He was really good there, but maybe he was too good, you know? It's a WWE thing. He probably said the wrong thing. He probably was too good, too something, said something.
He's a very serious guy, saying like he gets very passionate. That's the impression I've heard. Like he could get kind of like angry at people. So maybe he got like upset. Like
maybe there was something
fighting for a promo or something.
Maybe he has real heat with Kayla. I don't know. But the Halloween episode when Kayla dressed up as Sami Zayn and Sammy was like getting all mad, it was really funny. It was really, truly entertaining stuff. You know. Sammy's very good, but tonight, no entrance, and gets basically squashed by Bobby Lashley. Mm-hmm. I didn't expect much else. I know they're trying to put over Lashley strong, but no entrance for Sammy I thought was a little weird. Like, the match, didn't think it was weird. Totally figured that's what would go down. Sammy's the Intercontinental Champion, but he's a coward, so he's not supposed to beat a guy like Bobby Lashley, and when his title's not on the line, there's no reason for him to beat a guy like Bobby Lashley. So the match went the way I thought it should. But the fact that he wasn't like even given an entrance on pay-per-view, the only guy not given an entrance when, you know, the Godwins got an entrance for no particular reason. I don't know why the Intercontinental Champion didn't get an entrance on pay-per-view.
The women's tag teams had individual entrances, like Nia and Shayna came out separately.
Didn't Ruby Riott and Liv Morgan come out separately?
Indeed, they did.
So, Sammy didn't get an entrance. Like, that's weird, John. I know you're going to say, come on, it's weird, right?
It means something.
I don't think there's heat, though. Like, maybe it's just time constraints that happened. I don't think there's heat. I think, one, they pulled him from Talking Smack because it helps him being a heel. Like, when he's talking to other people that he could potentially be feuding with, it kind of throws it off. It's hard to believe in those feuds when he's just talking to them normally. Like, it doesn't work. So I think it's better him not being on those kind of shows.
He wasn't talking to them normally. He wasn't, though.
He put over New Day. He put over New Day, like, let's be serious, man. We're friends. Like, that kind of killed it right there for me. Like, I stopped watching the show because of that.
That's probably why he got pulled.
Maybe he broke kayfabe a bit too much.
Yeah. Too real. Because he was very real. He was more Ramy than Sammy. And I don't think they wanted that on their network, right?
They wanted him to be like loud and like obnoxious kind of Sammy.
Yeah, but he was, that, but also, a little bit of the real guy too. But that's kind of what Talking Smack is. It's like a half-shoot show. That's why it's good. That's the appeal. It's on the WWE Network. It releases the day after SmackDown on a Saturday morning. Like, it's basically hidden. It's a 20-minute show. You can't let them do a half-shoot. Give us something. Throw us a bone, Vince. The hell?
Micromanaging.
Yeah. So Sammy lost to Bobby. Match was not really good. Johnny, you thought the Roman Drew match was match of the night. I gave it to the tag team champion versus champion match. I liked the Profits. I liked New Day and their new outfits. I thought that was just wonderful. I want to see if I can get a picture of these guys.
I'm sure it's up there.
Yeah, it's got to be up there.
It's a promotional thing, so I'm sure they probably have an official still or something.
Like their gear
I guess
tonight.
You guys are okay with Big E coming out with them, I guess?
I loved it.
Why not?
What do you mean? I was so happy to see Big E come out with them.
Yeah, the band got back together.
I mean, it's pay-per-view. That's why, that's the whole point.
Yeah, what's your beef, Chief?
It kind of... My beef is that, weeks ago, we just had them, like, being all emotional, like, oh, we're not going to be a team anymore. And then they kind of just throw it away for that. I thought that was kind of cheap.
No. I'm happy to see them back. They're not together all the time, but they can reunite on pay-per-view. I think that's perfectly fine. I thought that was great.
That makes something entertaining.
Look at these guys. Look how cool their gear was tonight. Look how awesome. Their Gears of War gear, because they're in that game now, Gears of War. Look how cool they looked, man, with the shoulder things, I loved it. I thought they looked like $1 million. The chest deal and the knee pads and everything. They look like a New Day futuristic Legion of Doom. They look super cool.
It's like a particularly violent game, Gears of War. Remember, you could chainsaw people. So that means you could chainsaw Xavier Woods in half?
I have no idea. I've never played Gears of War.
It's like a shooting. You shoot aliens and stuff, and there's a lot of futuristic violent weapons and stuff.
I hope they keep the gear. I think it looks really cool. The Gears of War gear. I think they can keep wearing that stuff for a while, as they promote the game, and it makes them look super cool. It also makes them look a little bit like, I want to say Max Moon in his full gimmick.
Yeah, with the light blue. It's very Max Moon, you're right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Max Moon.
Didn't he have a whole
deep cut? It was light blue and kind of pink and.
John, you know what I'm saying?
I saw Max
Vaguely
Moon
remember
Jim Neidhart at Cavendish Mall.
I feel they're more like LOD 2000 without the helmets.
I don't know. The gear, look, Max Moon. The gear's a little Max Moonish.
Who was Max Moon?
Conan.
That was Conan?
Yeah, look.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Yeah, that's
you could
Conan,
tell.
Baby. Yeah, you could tell in the mask. Conan.
Huh.
That's right. Max Moon. The gear, New Day gear tonight was a little Max Moonish. Yeah. Orale. Tremendous.
Well, just
Conan.
an okay match, though.
I saw Conan
again,
on Dynamite. He was smoking weed, and he was smoking weed with Inner Circle in Las Vegas. Yeah.
Oh, I missed Dynamite.
They were finding a dragon or something.
Yeah, whatever.
Was it real?
I mean, I don't know if they were really smoking. I mean, they were in a limo they went into a limo with Conan, and then they all emerged all kind of stumbly, and smoke came out. It was whatever.
Dazed and Confused or
whatever.
Yeah, Ridgemont High, yeah, Jericho stuff.
I think it was trying to be the Hangover, but yeah.
Yeah, whatever. So what is your match of the night? I want to see it in the chat. Give me your match of the night, because we can't really agree on a match of the night.
Yeah, we each have a
We
different
all have
one.
a different match of the night, and I think that tells you, nothing really stuck out. Nothing stuck out as oh yeah, that was the shit. There was nothing that was amazing tonight. It's just a lot of things that were okay, maybe.
I also liked, in my match, the Women's Survivor Series match, I loved Bayley in the short time she was in the match, unfortunately, but she would often refer to herself as the captain, and then flex her arm and show the armband, captain.
That was good.
Bayley's fantastic.
Bayley, though, terrible captain. AJ Styles, great captain. John, we're talking about this Raw Survivor Series team being one of the strongest Survivor Series teams in the history of the pay-per-view. And, they all stayed strong. Nobody took a fall. They all won a clean sweep over the SmackDown men's team. Not really surprising. But, yeah, it really showed how strong of a team they were. Those guys were... you put those guys, AJ Styles, Keith Lee, Sheamus, Braun Strowman, Riddle, up against any Survivor Series team in the history of the pay-per-view, and it's a pretty tough matchup, as far as importance in the company, size, legendary status in the wrestling business. Sheamus and AJ Styles are two future Hall of Famers, and Braun Strowman's almost there too.
I like to nominate DX, the Hardys, and CM Punk. I think they also none of them got eliminated either.
Oh, that's pretty good. That's pretty strong.
Yeah,
DX, the Hardys, and CM
team.
Punk versus this team. Probably DX, Hardys, CM Punk win.
That's right. But I'm the Soul Survivor.
But that's tough, though. That's not a clean sweep.
No, it's not a clean sweep, but,
no, but
Triple H is not going down.
It's pretty hard to beat.
It is hard. It is, yeah. There's no question.
Probably the Hardys and Punk eliminated, and probably Shawn at the end, but Triple H stands tall.
How about...
the Hardys for sure get eliminated.
Yeah, Punk too.
Yeah, Punk too, sadly.
How about the team of Rikishi, Henry O. Godwin, Savio Vega, and The Undertaker versus Triple H, Isaac Yankem DDS, Jerry Lawler, and King Mabel from Survivor Series 1995.
Triple H,
most
Lawler...
of Undertaker's Survivor Series team, I think the whole team was there tonight, right?
Yeah.
Undertaker's Survivor Series team
like
from 95, they were called the Dark Side.
Savio Vega.
The Dark Side. Savio Vega, Henry O. Godwin, and Fatu, who of course is Rikishi Fatu, and The Undertaker with Paul Bearer. That was the team. They beat the Royals, which was Triple H, Jerry Lawler, King Mabel, and Isaac Yankem, who was also known as Kane. Most of the guys in that match were in the ring tonight, actually, except for Jerry Lawler and, of course, King Mabel, who is dead. Rest in peace.
Hey, John. I was asking this question about Fatu earlier. What was his nickname, like when he was like a rapper or something? Like True to Yourself Fatu, Believe in Yourself Fatu. What was that?
It was Make a Difference.
Make
Fatu.
a Difference Fatu. That's it. Make a difference. You can have a tracksuit and just
Tony Mack saying match of the night, New Day versus Street Profits. That is correct. That's my pick as well, so I agree with Tony, of course. Paul M says he found both men's and women's Survivor Series matches told great stories, but no match stood out for him tonight. Ray Cruz mentioning the Mega Powers. Yeah, what was their Survivor Series team?
Oh, man.
What's that got to be? Survivor Series 1990? 1991? What do we think?
It's either 90 or 89.
90 was the first one, wasn't it?
90 was...
I think 88 was the first one.
Oh, man.
Hold on. 89. I think 89. Hulkamaniacs. No. Hogan, Jake Roberts, Axe and Smash. Beating the $1 Million Team. Ted DiBiase, the Warlord, the Barbarian, and Zeus! Zeus, baby! A.K.A. Debo from Friday. Zeus. Tiny Lister. Tiny Lister? Is that his name? That's really his name. Yeah. Tiny Lister.
Sounds like a boxer.
Yeah. The Ultimate Warriors. How about that? Ultimate Warrior, Jim Neidhart, Shawn Michaels, and Marty Jannetty, the Rockers, beating the Heenan family, where Bobby Heenan was in the match, Andre the Giant, Haku, and Arn Anderson.
That's a pretty good team.
That's a good-ass team.
That's a pretty good team, especially Heenan being part of the team.
Oh, I was thinking the Rockers, Jim Neidhart, and Ultimate Warrior. That's a pretty good team, too.
Yeah, that's all right. No Brett, though.
Brett was on the 4.
Brett's another match.
Brett was on the 4x4s with Jim Duggan, Ronnie Garvin, and Hercules. They lost to the King's Court, Randy Savage, Dino Bravo, Greg Valentine, and Canadian Earthquake, a.k.a. John Tenta.
That's a pretty good team, actually.
It's a good team, too.
Macho, Bravo, Valentine. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Hard hitters.
I don't know when Hogan and Macho teamed up. Hulkamaniacs, the Warrior. No, Hulkamaniacs was Big Boss Man, Hogan, Jim Duggan, and Tugboat in 1990.
That's Typhoon, eh?
It's not just Typhoon. That's
the Shockmaster.
The Shockmaster, buddy. Okay? And then, of course, the next year, 1991, Hogan lost the title to The Undertaker.
That's when...
Undertaker debuted at Survivor Series 1990. A year later, beat Hogan for the WWF Championship. Talk about a first year in the business. First year in WWF.
Tombstoned him on the chair?
Tombstoned him on the chair with help from Ric Flair.
That's right.
And then Hogan complained, and that ended his title reign very quickly.
Sweet. Although Hogan's backtracked that apparently since.
Yeah, I remember seeing an interview with Hogan where Hogan talked about, I took the Tombstone brother and I jacked up my neck pretty bad, but it wasn't Undertaker's fault, brother. Yeah. It's just something that can happen. It's not Undertaker's fault, because Hogan doesn't want to say bad things about Taker. Yeah. But did he complain about Taker jacking up his neck? Oh, that Undertaker's pretty stiffsky. That dead guy's pretty stiffsky, Vince. hurt my neck, brother.
I don't know about it, brother.
I think they should give me the belt back, brother. It's not safe.
Well, that's very much like what happened, because Taker explained the story to ESPN very recently, saying how like Taker, like Hogan is laying on Vince's floor after the match, saying like, "Oh, he can't move, and like he believes that's what Hogan did. The whole like, "Oh, you can't trust him," and then what happened? Like I think maybe a week later, Hogan beat Taker right back. So.
That's right, brother.
That's right, brother.
That's how Terry did business back in the late 80s and early 90s. That's how it went down, okay? I'm not surprised. That's just Hulk Hogan. It's part of the game.
Hogan's done some favors for Taker. After all, Taker had a co-starring role in Hogan's seminal classic, Suburban Commando.
That's true.
With Christopher Lloyd.
And Hogan has also taken the worst chokeslam in the history of chokeslams from Undertaker.
Right. I don't know if that's doing him a favor, though, brother.
Hogan didn't even move.
He refused to jump, and Taker was like, "Get up there."
And he didn't move. He couldn't get him up there at all.
That was the finish.
It was terrible.
It's the last time Hulk Hogan was WWE champion.
John, what's your favorite Undertaker match? We were talking about it a little bit before we started, like seeing the Undertaker in the retrospective. What's your favorite Taker match?
Well, to me, it's the match that I think defines like a generation, which is I think Hell in a Cell, Mankind and the Undertaker from King of the Ring '98. That's a match to me. Like when I look back on wrestling, it's like one of the most unforgettable matches ever to happen.
Yeah, that's one of them. Him and Shawn at WrestleMania 25, pretty terrific.
It's a little overrated, but okay.
Well, not in my mind, but you just hate Shawn Michaels. That's why you can't like see past your hatred for Shawn. But I think Shawn is a great wrestler.
I say go back and watch that match again, and watch how like sloppy Shawn's wrestling is in that match.
How dare you? You mentioned Undertaker versus Mankind, Hell in a Cell, but I like that Undertaker versus Mankind Boiler Room Brawl. Like, a lot of people were very hyped about that match when it went down, and that's why people were so excited about the Hell in a Cell, because you're like, oh my God, the Boiler Room Brawl was so good. What are they going to do in Hell in a Cell? And, of course, it blew everything away. Undertaker versus Kane, WrestleMania 14, very big match in Undertaker's career. Of course, Undertaker versus Great Khali, just classic stuff.
Punjabi prison match?
The Punjabi prison. I don't think Undertaker ever did Punjabi
he got hurt,
prison.
didn't he?
Yeah, I think it was Batista and Khali,
right.
wasn't it?
That's right.
Undertaker versus Triple H. The Hell in a Cell at WrestleMania was really good. Undertaker, Brock Lesnar. He's had some good matches with Brock. He's had some bad matches with
Kurt
Brock,
Angle.
but he had that run with Brock where he had a couple that were good and a couple that were bad.
The Hell in a Cell match was like a bloodbath.
Yeah, it was good, right? Was that the good one?
Like 03.
It was like a SummerSlam one that was good, right, John? Help me out.
The Hell in a Cell
I want to say it was Hell in a Cell.
Was good.
Hell in a Cell was
a better
good.
one, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was a good one. Not their first Hell in a Cell, their second Hell in a Cell, like the more recent one.
They both were good.
Right.
Yeah, the first one was
the second
not
one's
that
better.
great. Yeah, the second one was better. Undertaker Edge, WrestleMania. I'm seeing JJ Mondesi. That's definitely up there. Taker versus Punk from WrestleMania. Paul M likes that one. That was a good one.
One of my favorites, deep cut. Vengeance 2002. Undertaker, Kurt Angle, and The Rock in triple threat. The Rock wound up winning. They had this really fun sequence where each guy did another guy's finishing move.
Yes.
Like Taker gave the Rock Taker gave Angle an Angle slam. And then like Rock gave Taker a choke slam, and like Angle rock bottom the Rock or something like that. And like all three of those guys were like working really well together. That was like 20 minutes, but like it flowed like really nicely. It was one of the Rock's best matches for sure, and one of Taker's. Also, like you said, John, against Kurt Angle, I think No Way Out 2006. That was a damn good match. That was that was one of Taker's and also another one I'd like to mention is against Edge TLC, I think 2008, when Taker took that like big fall like out of the ring through the tables to finish the match.
Yep.
That was good stuff. That was Taker defying expectations and like going all out and like showing another side of himself beyond like his character and like showing an extra, a hardcore wrestler, a little technical wrestler, a little more showmanship.
Undertaker, Jeff Hardy, the ladder match on Raw for the title. Incredible. A match I don't think, if you were around back then, if you're a wrestling fan back then, you remember that match, you're never going to forget it. It was that night where Jeff Hardy was like just Jeff Hardy, and he almost beat Undertaker, and it was like Taker was so far above Jeff Hardy on the pecking order at that point. Jeff was just his tag team wrestler in the TLC matches. All of a sudden, he has this one-on-one match, and he became a legitimate superstar, and he was a guy that you said, okay, that's a future champion right there. There is a guy who's going to be somebody, and Taker really made Jeff Hardy in that match, Climb the ladder, kid. Make yourself famous. Like, I'll never forget JR saying that. Like, that was classic, It was one of the greatest things I've ever seen on Monday Night Raw as far as matches. That was honestly one of the greatest Raw matches in the history of Raw, and Undertaker, Jeff Hardy. That was kick-ass. And, I was telling you about this before. Undertaker, Yokozuna, casket match, Royal Rumble 1994. Now, you might say, it wasn't a great match, whatever. Did they really do, was it, a classic in the ring? Maybe not, but Taker lost, Taker debuted in 1990. I don't remember him losing very often, right? Taker...
Yeah, but he lost to an army in that match.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Taker never lost. He was this unstoppable force, and here he was in a casket match. He's building this gigantic casket. Over weeks, you're seeing these promos of this huge casket I'm building for you, Yokozuna. I have to build it extra wide and extra big because you're super fat. Right? So he's doing this whole thing for weeks and weeks, and it's this giant casket, and it's like, oh, man, that's bigger than the casket he built for Kamala, Because he built a casket for Kamala first, and it was like, Kamala, you're scared to death of this casket, as you should be. And it was like, Kamala was scared, and Yoko was scared too. You remember Yoko? He sold that casket like a motherfucker. He was scared, Yep. And I was like, well, Yoko's fucked. I was 8 years old at the time, and I was like, Yoko is fucked. That's exactly what I thought. 8 years old. Yoko's fucked.
Oh, man, Yoko's fucked.
Yoko is totally fucked here. Taker's going to fuck his ass up.
Get him, Taker.
Right? And
I love 8-year-old Dave. It's good.
8-year-old Dave. Taker is going to kick the shit out of Yoko's casket match, bitch. 8-year-old Dave sounds like Jim Cornette for some reason.
Or like a Dave Chappelle sketch.
Yeah. Hey, it's me, Tyrone Williams, a.k.a. 8-year-old Dave. What you don't know about me is I smoke rock, Undertaker. So, like, it was such a big moment. It was such a big match. And I thought Yoko was in big trouble. And then when Mr. Fuji brings out Crush and all these heels to beat up Undertaker and put him in the casket, and then they nail the casket shut, and I'm like, Jesus. They just killed Undertaker. And I was like, and I also thought, Mr. Fuji is a fucking genius. Because Undertaker's unstoppable. Yoko is scared to death. He knew the only way to get out of this match, to beat this match and get rid of The Undertaker, was to just enlist the help of all the heels that Undertaker had assaulted in the past and to help Yoko beat Taker. It was like 10-on-1, and they finally beat Taker. And I was like, shit, that's brilliant. He figured out a way to beat Undertaker. No one could beat Undertaker. That guy's unstoppable because, from the time Undertaker debuted when I was about 5 to the time Undertaker got beat by Yoko when I was about 8, he didn't really lose at all. So to see him in a vulnerable state and to see him lose was like, holy shit. And then they nail the casket shut, and on the big screen, fucking Undertaker shows up, and he's like, I will be back. Yokozuna, you son of a bitch. And then, like, shit, fucking fire and everything, and, like, all sorts of lightning, and Yoko's scared to death again, and it's like, what the fuck? And then Undertaker was gone for, like, a long time, right? That was Rumble, and didn't he not come back till, I want to say SummerSlam? SummerSlam, right? So January to August, he's gone. Why was he hurt?
Yeah, I think he was just banged up.
Yeah. So he's gone for a long stretch. And he finally comes back, and it's like against the the evil Undertaker, and like that was a whole big thing. Like 1994 Undertaker was special, Maybe it's because I was an 8-year-old wrestling fan. Maybe it's because it was just this. There was an aura still about this guy. He was not like the rest of the wrestlers. I feel like by 97, he was like, Taker, Austin, Rock, Big Show, Mankind, Triple H, Taker. Like at a certain point, he just became another wrestler. But from 1990 till about 95, maybe 96, but I'd say about till 95. Those first 5 years, he was a fucking demon. For real. In my mind, maybe it's because I was 10, and I started getting older, and I was like, oh, he's just a human. But in my mind, he was something else. Creature of the night.
Gorilla Monsoon really sold him.
You will know my name.
The Undertaker.
The referees.
Paul Bearer. That helped a lot, too. Paul Bearer really helped because he looked like a zombie himself.
He never spoke. He never lost. Everybody was scared to death of him. His opponents, the referees, everybody. Like, the way they treated him for the first 5 years of his run was like they treated him so well. And he sold it. Of course, he did a great job. But everything around him was done so perfectly. So perfectly. Goddamn Undertaker.
When he did the Dead Man again, too, he got some of that mystique back when he reborn.
Yeah, but you're too young, I think, to really remember, like, 1991 Undertaker.
I came up at 97.
Being fucking scary. Like, John, you know what I'm saying? Taker,
I know
when
what
he
you're
first
saying.
came out, was, like, shoot scary.
You saw him live?
Well, because he had that aura.
Period?
Yeah.
And it must have been, like...
It was... something,
You had to hide.
Not as scary as Papa Shango. Papa Shango scared me for real. I was like, oh, this guy put a hex on Ultimate Warrior. I don't want him to do that to me. Did you see Papa Shango put the same hex on Rudy Giuliani that he put on Ultimate Warrior with the thing dripping down? Crazy. Papa Shango, man. Godfather. Something no good, man. Crazy. Anyways, take it,
I was disappointed by the PG song, unfortunately.
The Godfather, there was no hoe train, no mention of hoes?
No,
they don't do that no more. That's too bad.
It's generic theme now.
His gimmick is that he is a sex trafficker, right? That's his gimmick.
Yes.
He's a sex trafficker, professional. They called it a pimp, but now I think they just call it sex trafficking.
Did they refer to him as a pimp on the show?
I don't think so, but like his gimmick is that he is a pimp, but they cannot mention hoes.
No, unless he says it.
But he can't say it. I just find it strange that they still acknowledge that he is the Godfather. Well, what is the Godfather's gimmick?
He likes women.
Yeah, he likes women. Well, in what way? He likes to
be around them,
hang out with them,
make them dance,
and make them do things for money. Work the street. It's a pretty awful job. Don't sex traffic.
No.
A message from your friends at Wrestling Uncensored.
Yes.
Don't be a sex trafficker.
John. To be fair to the Godfather, though, I feel like he did a promo saying where he went legit.
Oh.
And they're not hoes anymore; they're escorts now. So that's okay.
I think is it okay? I guess in the state of Nevada, you could technically run an escort service.
Yeah.
Huh. John Nee North. Is that your next
I don't
business
have an escort
move?
service.
Not yet, John. Not yet. But...
Light up a fatty for that pimp daddy.
This show has degenerated. We're talking about Survivor Series, and now we're talking about sex trafficking.
It's funny how pimp used to be a really commonly used word.
Pimp,
and now, like,
pimp used to be a compliment.
Everything. Yeah, people are like, oh, man, that's so pimp, and pimp my ride, and...
I don't know what you heard about me, but a bitch can't get $1 out of me.
P-I-M-P.
I'm
it's
a
still in
motherfucking P-I-M-P.
Yeah.
Yeah, pimping.
It will always live in music.
Pimping ain't easy, and so on. Yeah, it was a very popular thing for a while, and now, it's frowned upon.
I guess so, yeah.
As it should be.
It's just funny how, like,
it always should have been frowned upon, but for some reason, in the mid-2000s, it was an admirable part of our culture.
Yeah.
and The Godfather was born.
Great King of the Hill episode.
Of course, with Snoop Dogg.
Alabaster.
Alabaster. Did you see they released Snoop Dogg Undertaker t-shirts on WWEshop.com?
Like he designed it.
I heard about this.
You haven't seen it? Let's do some
I've heard
shopping.
about it.
Snoop Dogg?
Man, if this was 2001, I'd be all over this. I'd be buying these shirts. Now I'm
Really?
well, yeah, sure. Back in the day, like when Snoop Dogg was still like making music that was somewhat popular, I would have probably bought one of these shirts. Now, I still will buy one of these shirts.
What is this? Snoop Dogg?
I'll show you. Okay, so this is on WWEshop.com. This is legit.
Oh.
Snoop Dogg, Undertaker collaborations.
Wow.
Look at that.
That's actually kind of cool.
This one's cool.
Oh, with like
the
a hearse?
lowrider?
Yeah.
Undertaker's driving, Snoop Dogg like is hanging out of it. This one's really cool with a cartoon version.
Yeah.
Christmas is coming up, brother, by the way. You get me one, I'll get you one. Nothing but a taker thing.
What does that mean?
This is Snoop Dogg Taker view. OD, OG. I don't even
know. Dead Man?
I don't
Original
know.
Dead Man.
Overdose, Original Gangster, Snoop Dogg hoodie.
That hoodie's all right.
You like the hoodie?
Snoop Dogg.
Johnny likes the hoodie. Christmas is coming, Johnny. Johnny's gonna get a Snoop Dogg Undertaker
It's a hell
hoodie.
of a tag team.
I like this. I like the gray shirt with the hearse. Undertaker, Snoop Dogg with Undertaker driving the hearse.
The one right above that's kind of interesting too.
The
I don't
one
know if I'd wear it, but like just the fact that like that they made that like with that kind of text, like the big letters on
where are we? That one?
That one, yeah.
It looks like a mixtape cover from like 2002.
I know, it's like kind of.
It is kind of cool.
It's kind of cool in that sense. I don't know if I'd wear it, but like it's just like the fact that it exists and it's official is a real sight to behold.
Again, WWE just totally missing the boat on collabs and rappers to do them with. Like, first of all, if you do a collab, it's supposed to sell out immediately, WWE. It's not supposed to be just sitting there able to buy. Like, that's not how you do a collab with a rapper. It's supposed to be limited, and they're supposed to sell out quick, okay? WWE, I don't know what they're waiting for, but they need to do a collaboration with Travis Scott. Where is the Cactus Jack t-shirt? Like, it's easy to me. I don't know what they're doing. Like, to me, I would do, like, okay, for those of you that don't understand, Johnny North and probably you,
A vague understanding.
Travis Scott is a rapper.
Yes.
You went to the concert.
I have.
You've seen him
live.
perform, all right?
Yes.
You know, all right?
It was quite the event.
It was fun, right?
Yes, it was.
Travis Scott shows are fun as hell.
It's intense.
When concerts happen again and we can be in mosh pits again, I recommend that you go to Travis Scott show because it's just fun. And if you like the music, like, even better. So Travis Scott does collaborations with people. He's got a Nike deal. He did a collaboration with McDonald's where they did a meal. And I think they called it the Cactus Jack meal because for some reason Travis Scott calls himself Cactus Jack, right? And Mick Foley has acknowledged this, and Travis Scott has acknowledged Mick Foley and acknowledged that he kind of took it from Mick Foley, right?
It's Mick Foley's original creation.
WWE has not capitalized on this. And, like, if you want to do a successful collaboration, he's, like, the guy to do a collaboration with.
That
McDonald's
thing
Nike.
people went nuts for that.
People went nuts. People were selling old, cold cheeseburgers on eBay just because they had a Travis Scott box in it. Like, it was ridiculous. People were selling old-ass McDonald's French fries for $1,000 because they were Cactus Jack French fries. Okay? It's crazy. They had merch. They had all sorts of stuff affiliated with it. They made tons of money. Travis Scott is the guy to do a collaboration with. You'd make a collaboration with Travis Scott, you're going to make money. So to me, like, I don't know why they haven't released a Travis Scott, Mick Foley collaboration t-shirt on WWE Shop. Or why has no one done this? I don't understand why the Cactus Jack collaboration hasn't been done, because I'm telling you, like, those shirts would sell out and then they would resell for like $300 a piece. You know what I'm
think
saying?
it's just a case of being out of touch?
Well, yeah. I mean, it might be. I mean, they're definitely
Like whoever's
out
in
of touch.
charge of marketing is like, well, Snoop Dogg's cool.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's ridiculous. That doesn't make any sense. Why are they doing a Snoop Dogg Undertaker collaboration? Like, I think the shirts are dope, and I love Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Okay, so I got no problem with it, and I kind of want one. I'm probably gonna get one. To be real, like, I think I'm gonna get one. But like Black Friday's coming up soon. They always got good deals. I'm getting one. But like, it's cool by me. But I'm just saying, like, I think A, they're out of touch with the Travis Scott thing, and B, like, maybe they just can't get Travis Scott because he's like the hottest collaboration rapper in the game. Like, yeah, it's too much. They can't do it. But you know, they should go for it because you know the Cactus Jack thing.
Yeah,
it
just
seems natural. John, you
Sometimes
don't know what I'm talking
something
about.
seemed like a
Cactus
knockout of
Jack,
the
Travis Scott, McDonald's, nothing, right? Nothing.
No, I heard about the whole Cactus Jack McDonald thing.
Oh.
The thing is, that's not a WWE creation, though. WWE didn't really push that whatsoever when it happened, right? I don't think they ever acknowledged it, so
Do they own
they're not going to
Cactus
get involved
Jack?
in that.
Do they own the name now, you think?
No, Foley does probably.
So that's probably it.
And is Foley even under WWE contract right now?
He was there
I
tonight.
question that.
He was there.
Yeah, he was there. Doesn't mean he's under contract. I don't think
Right.
all those guys are under contract.
Maybe not. He might not be.
Yeah, I don't know. I just want it for me.
Yeah.
The Travis Scott
And
Mick
just
Foley.
makes sense.
Sure.
Like if you're in charge of
I would do
WWE's
that.
marketing, you'd
Yeah.
be like, hey, let's figure
Let's
something
reach out to
out.
Travis Scott and try to do something with WWE. You saying he doesn't want to do something with WWE? Like, I find that hard to believe. I'm sure they could get that done. I don't know. John, how do we do on our predictions? I think I said
even.
SmackDown would win, right?
Well, I guess we were
No one won.
wrong in the sense but we were overall right, but barely, and we broke even on our picks against each other
Did we?
because we had 4 against each other and we were 2-2.
Okay. So I picked Team Raw to win the men's match, as did you, right?
Right.
And they did. I took New Day to beat Street Profits, right?
Right.
And you took Street Profits?
Right.
So you were right there. I think I had Sammy over Bobby, didn't I? And you had Bobby?
That's right.
Did I have Sasha over Asuka?
You did.
I did, eh? Look at me.
Yeah.
What happened in that match? That
against
match kind of
Asuka.
sucked. Not as good as I wanted it to be.
I don't know. It's something about chemistry. Like everything just looked very sloppy in that match. Maybe again communication. I don't know. Like for whatever reason, they have good matches and then they don't have good matches. Like it's
Right.
always hit or miss with them. It's kind of
Yeah.
weird. This was a miss.
Yeah, like I feel like they've had good matches in the past. I'm not really sure what happened there. A lot of rest holds. I felt like Sasha was holding an armbar on Asuka for most of that match.
Maybe one of them is hurt.
Why were they just sitting there? Was there miscommunication? Did something go wrong? Like, I don't know. I'm not in the ring with them, but a lot of that match was spent just kind of doing nothing. It was a little weird.
And it just ended, too. Just a quick roll-up or like
Yeah.
a little reversal pinfall, and then that's it.
Not much there.
Right. Well, and if you saw some spots, like they were very sloppily done. Like it wasn't one of their best outings.
Maybe
Like,
one of them is
both
hurt.
of them.
You know, doing a lot of wrestles. You know, they couldn't cancel the match. And so doing some
I really think
wrestles
it's a styles clash.
Ha.
No pun intended there.
Yeah. No, I know what you mean. Yeah, I feel like we've seen Sasha and Asuka a lot, and it's never great.
Sometimes it's good. They had him. Was it
That was Becky, wasn't it?
SummerSlam? No, it might have been Becky.
I think it was SummerSlam.
Right, Sasha Asuka at SummerSlam?
That was all right.
I thought it was good. I thought it was better than this.
It was.
I thought it was much better than this. I don't know. Team Raw, Team SmackDown women. Did I have Team SmackDown or Team Raw? I thought I had Team SmackDown winning.
We both had Team SmackDown. We were wrong on that one.
Okay. And I had Roman beating Drew. Did you have Drew beating Roman?
No, I had Roman as well.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
So where were the ones where I got right and you got wrong?
It's the
Sasha Asuka, I guess.
right. You got that one right. You got the Battle Royal. You said Raw.
Oh, that counts.
Battle Royal counts.
Did I say Raw for Battle Royal? Okay.
You did.
There you go.
So that's our 2-2.
Okay. All right. Well, not the best pay-per-view. Not the best pay-per-view from the WWE. Undertaker Final Farewell, kind of a dud.
Yeah.
A little bit of a dudski.
Yeah, but
oh well.
Underwhelming.
Yep.
Unfortunate.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, Big John?
But a great moment for him, though. Great moment that they gave him that. I'm glad they gave him that spot, though.
To pose with a hologram in front of an empty arena?
I feel like the thing after he lost to Roman was cooler when he like left his hat and coat in the ring and hugged Michelle and his kids, kind of like acknowledging, I'm leaving this.
With like 80,000 people standing cheering for him. Seemed like a better moment than to retire.
No. Because that match was terrible.
No,
Undertaker.
You guys remember the match?
Yes, of course, but that doesn't mean the moment after didn't feel like a better farewell feeling.
This was
because Roman couldn't pick him up for a tombstone.
He stood in the ring by himself, and then a hologram of Paul Bearer appeared, and no one was there to clap for him.
Just piped in, thank you,
Taker in an empty arena. How is that a great moment for him?
It's just respect for him. The fact that they had all those people there for him. That Vince gave a speech. You never see Vince on TV. And the fact that they just gave him the ring. He ended a pay-per-view with a speech. When do you see that?
Vince came out on like a Raw. And like he was like kind of rambling. And like Triple H had to cut him off. It's like, hey, Vince, don't know what you're saying here.
Yeah.
Vince has been
making on a pay-per-view
from time to time.
Doesn't make a difference.
Like, here's the thing, John. Just showing up is not enough for me. Like, just seeing Savio Vega was not enough for me. Like, if Vince is gonna show up, he's got to say more than, "Oh, it's been quite a career, and tonight we put it to rest, pal." Like, he's got to say more.
How about like
he's got to.
I called Mark Calloway in my office the first time.
Yeah, when I first met Mark Calloway, this is what I thought of him. Or, I can't believe that it's really the end. It makes me reflect on all our years together and think about, like, something. Give me one personal anecdote. Give me something that I can remember. Give me a morsel that I can talk about. Give me something to go off of. He gave us nothing. He said nothing about Undertaker. He just said, I am Vince. Undertaker has been here for a long time. This is the final farewell.
Here it is.
It was like a goddamn speech by Ron Swanson, just giving you the facts.
I am Vince.
I am Ron Swanson. And, when he's giving
no flourish.
That's my favorite. That is my favorite. That's one of my favorites. When he's giving the speech for Leslie's mother. And he just gives a speech of facts. She has been with the department for 20 years. If properly treated, that's how long a good varnish should last. Like, it's just fantastic. This is a great line. Yeah, beautiful stuff by Ron Swanson. Anyways, that's what the Vince speech felt like. Yeah. Undertaker is a wrestler. His real name is Mark Calloway. He is married to Michelle. He is from Texas. We are in Florida. This is the final farewell. Here is Undertaker now, pal. Like,
clap for him.
Clap for Taker. Except nobody's actually clapping. It's just clapping sounds. Like when no one gets their name chanted for them except Shane McMahon. Did you notice that?
Great pop for Shane.
Shane O'Mac. Huge pop for Shane.
Well, piped in.
The fake crowd is chanting his name. They're not chanting HBK. They're not chanting for Flair, for Big Show, for the Godwins, for Savio Vega, for Sex Trafficker Godfather. Like, they're not chanting sex traffic. They're not doing any of that. But Shane comes out, Shane O'Mac. No one's chanting.
Shane do like a this?
And Shane was like, oh, goosebumps. I got goosebumps. I can feel the energy. It's like, what? It's screens and fake sounds in an empty arena. It's horrible. It was so ridiculous. Why are they chanting? Why does, okay, I guess because his dad owns the company, But
Yeah, it just feels so.
hey, I'm watching here. I'm noticing these things, guys. It's obvious. Some of the greatest legends in the history of the business. And Shane McMahon is the only one who has the fake name chanting going on when he comes out. Fucking Shane and his Jordan 1s. Fuck off, Shane. Ridiculous. Stupid fucking shoes.
Was it Ray? I think it was Ray and Dominic, right? They were wearing some new Adidas shoes or something. Or no, it was the Street Profits, right?
I didn't know.
They were wearing the Ric Flair shoes.
Oh, Ric Flair.
Ric Flair has Adidas shoes now.
Do they have Boost?
Yeah.
Woo.
Are they out? Sure. Are they out yet?
I think this was the debut of them, so probably not.
Oof. Oh, they're.
I guess you found them already?
Dame 7s. Ew. These are horrible.
Supposed to be like the robe, I guess. Looks like the robe.
These are awful. I wouldn't wear these. I ain't buying these. Blech. Bricks. These are bricks.
Hit the bricks.
These are ugly as hell. Dame 7 Ric Flairs. $110. Yo, I'm not wearing any shoes that cost $110, bro. Sorry. It's the way it is.
Oh, it says woo under. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, but look how ugly those are. They're like some Dame basketball shoes. It's like not even an original silhouette. It's the Dame silhouette just with like a Ric Flair colorway. It's got an RF on the back. Super whack. Were these the shoes the Street Profits were wearing tonight?
That's what they said they were.
Yo,
makes sense with the outfit they were wearing. Yeah, but they were in blue.
Ric Flair needs to release some Boost. Like, if I
don't think he's really designing these.
Like,
shoes.
if I'm Ric Flair and I signed a deal with Adidas, I'd be like, yo, I want to make some nice shoes. You know, like, take a look what Kanye's doing and maybe do a little something like that. Like, don't release these bricks.
I feel like Ric Flair would probably go to a shoe making and be like, can you make these out of alligator?
Yeah, make them out of alligator.
I don't think Adidas will make gator shoes.
Yo, they will. They will. Man, I'm telling you, Flair could have done a lot better than those. Is that it? Is that all he's releasing? Because if it is... Yeah, that's it. It's just a colorway of the Dame 7s. Jeez, those are ugly. Jeez.
Well, maybe you should tweet Ric Flair and complain.
Nah, I'm not going to bother the old man.
It's Twitch.
He's done enough for me. He's cut enough good promos. He doesn't need to release a dope sneaker, too. I'm not looking at Ric Flair to release nice footwear. You know who I am looking at to release nice footwear?
Kanye.
Travis Scott. Travis Scott releases beautiful shoes.
Okay. This is the sneaker show.
It's a sneaker show. It's turning into a sneaker show. Look at these Jordan 1s. I bet you Shane McMahon tries to get... I know Dominic Mysterio has these. For sure Dominic has these because he's a hype beast and he's for sure getting these types of shoes. You see these? These are Travis Scott shoes. The retro ones. Whew, those are fire. See, those are nice. Travis Scott, like, he releases nice goddamn sneakers. Way better than those Ric Flairs. See, Travis Scott knows what's up. And those collaborations, like, those right now, they're reselling for like $2,500. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Travis Scott, big in the game, Johnny North. I'm teaching you something. Okay? That's it. That's our Survivor Series.
We survived.
Post-show.
Survivor Series.
We survived Survivor Series. Thank you, everybody, for
TLC's
watching.
next, right?
TLC's our next show, yeah. Well, not our next show. Our next show, you and me, will be back Friday night after SmackDown. Wrestling Uncensored every Friday night after SmackDown. This guy might show up once in a while on Friday nights, too. Okay, John? How about that?
It's in the works.
You got to watch Dynamite, though. You got to stay.
Oh, courant.
Yeah.
And Raw.
And Raw.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, he might not show up.
I'm watching Ken Burns baseball right now. I got a pretty heavy plate.
He just watches the pay-per-views. He's not trying to watch all this
Joe
wrestling.
DiMaggio.
That's what me and Johnny do for you. We watch all the wrestling. And we'll be watching all the wrestling this week. And we will be recapping it on Friday night right after SmackDown for Wrestling Uncensored. I will be back on Thursday night for Ringside Report MMA, where I will give you more winning picks, where I'm undefeated on the show. I went 4-0 on my parlay last night. I went 1-0 last week when I gave you the Rafael Dos Anjos pick. I went 4-0 the week before on my UFC picks.
You should have a pick that's like a lock of the week or something like that, or like a...
I mean, the lock last night was Valentina Shevchenko, but she was a super favorite, so there's no point in betting money on her unless you took Valentina, Davison Figueiredo, Paul Craig, and Caitlin Chukagian. Caitlin Chukagian coming in at I think she's plus 220 underdog. I told you she was way too big for Cynthia Calvillo. I told Freddie and AJ they didn't believe me. But if you believe me, if you know what's up, you know what's good, you're making money like I did. I made big money last night off the UFC pay-per-view because my picks are money. I'm doing the research. I'm watching tons of fights. I was doing research today. I watched like 3 Curtis Blades fights today, getting ready for Curtis Blades versus Derek Lewis. Spoiler alert, Curtis Blades is going to fucking beat the shit out of Derek Lewis. He's probably going to finish him too. I don't see it lasting more than 2 rounds. Derek Lewis got no gas tank. Once he finds himself on his back, he's like a turtle. He's fucked. Curtis Blades is going to whoop that man's ass with elbows. But I'll tell you more about that on Ringside Report MMA this Thursday, 8 p.m. Every Thursday, 8 p.m. Myself, Freddie, AJ, we are all lifelong martial artists. We are all deep in the MMA game. And we've been doing it for a long time. And we're having a good time. Crack jokes, talk about fights, as you can tell. I go deep on pro wrestling and MMA. I'm not fucking around. Combat sports, baby. All day, every day. It is what it is, Johnny. You like that Caitlin Chukagian pick, baby? Yeah! The one underdog pick of the night coming through, Caitlin Chukagian. I think Tim Means was an underdog as well. I did pick Mike Perry on the show on Thursday, but that was before I knew that Mike Perry was going to not make weight on Friday. And I didn't bet on Mike Perry. I wouldn't have picked Mike Perry had you asked me on Saturday. I didn't bet on him because I didn't like that he missed weight so badly. I don't think Mike Perry is a very good fighter at all. I'm not surprised Tim Means won yesterday. I would have laid off that fight altogether, which I did. I laid off that fight, which was good. Okay, Johnny? Okay?
Okay.
Freddie and AJ, man, they can't touch me on the picks these days. I'm the king of the show.
When it comes to your UFC picks, yeah, like you're definitely on the ball. The WWE picks, maybe not so much, but you're not bet on that, so it's okay.
Well, no, I mean it's easier to bet on 2 athletes that are having a real competition where you can kind of gauge what they do and how they compete, rather than the whims of a crazy old billionaire. It's hard to judge what Vince's crazy mind is going to come up with. It's easier to bet fights where you kind of know, well, this fighter does this fighter does that. How's this going to go in a fight? I have an easier time figuring that out than pro wrestling, which, well, I mean, sometimes. I told you Roman was going to win. That seemed pretty damn obvious. And I told you Drew McIntyre was going to beat Randy for the WWE title last Monday. That seemed pretty damn obvious, so I think I get a lot of things right, too, there, Johnny.
Oh, yeah, like, you get a lot right, but again, like you say, like, it's not easy to get it all right? Because, like, you have an idea,
yeah,
and for the most part, you're right, but then Vince will throw you a curveball, and it's like, well, I wasn't expecting that one.
Yeah, I could tell you something that makes sense, that should happen, I could tell you how I would book things, but, you can't account for WWE continuing to put Miz in high-profile situations, right? Every time Miz wins something, I'm like, what, really? They're having Miz win something? Anyways,
like tonight.
Thank you, everybody, and especially a big shout out to JC and Patrick C. Hamilton for supporting on the Super Chat. We appreciate you guys big time, JC and Patrick C. Hamilton. Thank you for supporting the Ringside Report Network. Go to ringsidereport.net for more on everything that we do. Follow Johnny on Twitter at North Genesis, on Instagram at Genesis Johnny North, and you can follow me on all the things at Dave Simon MMA. Follow him at
OnlyFans.
Or follow him on the street.
That's cool.
Okay. Yeah, he's not on OnlyFans. That was a joke. Okay, thank you, everybody. This was our Survivor Series watch along.